Get ready with me while I tell you about the time that I walked out of the dealership because I was being treated so badly. Just kidding, this was literally last week, and this is the story about how I ended up getting my Bronco, because good things happen to me and I manifest the things that I want in my life. Okay, so Wednesday of last week, my dad and I went to look at cars. I had no idea really what I wanted. I just knew that I wanted a larger SUV, and I was driving a 2017 Mazda, and it was just too small, and it was just getting high on miles, and I just realized that I needed to go ahead and start looking for a new car. I wasn't expecting to buy something so soon, but I'm happy that I did, and I love the choice that I made. But we went to quite a few different dealerships, didn't really see anything that I was like actually obsessed with, and I was like kind of bummed until we got to the very last dealership that we went to, which was Kia. Okay, so we get to Kia. I see this absolutely gorgeous all black Bronco, and I was like, wow, that is actually so cute, and I would drive the heck out of that. It looks super clean. It's really close to my price range. It's a little high, but I figure we could probably talk them down a little bit, and there's like nobody around to help us or to like talk to us about the car at all. So I eventually just like walk up to the front of the dealership, and there's a guy there helping another couple, and he's like, what do you guys need? I'm like, I really want to look at the Bronco on the used car side. And he's like, okay, well, let me get somebody to come out here and give you the keys. Nobody ends up coming to give us the keys, and eventually my dad and I are just kind of standing around the car, and it unlocks. So I'm assuming somebody's like hit the unlock button so that we can look inside of it. So we like open it up. It looks super clean. We pop the hood. It runs well. It, you know, all the good things. And then we like head back up to the front to hopefully like find somebody that will let us test drive it. And basically the guy's like, we're so short staffed. Like, I'm just going to give you the keys and let you take it for a test drive yourself. And when you come back, we can talk about it if you want to. I'm like, okay. So my dad and I take it for a test drive. Love it. It's gorgeous. It's perfect. I want it. And we come back to the dealership, and again, there's nobody there to help us. So I decided just to make an appointment for the next day and come back by myself to talk about the car and like hopefully try to buy it. And in true Shelby fashion, I get so excited about things like this. I literally started like adding things to my Amazon cart that I was going to buy for the car, even though I didn't have it yet. And like, you know, little things like that, like planning on what I want to do to it, like upgrades and stuff like that. Okay, so the next day rolls around. I show up by myself, which was probably my first mistake, but girl, I'm a big girl. I can handle it, you know, like I can do what needs to be done. I am very specific on that I have a budget and that I'm not going over budget, regardless. Like, I will literally get up and walk out if we can't get the car to the price that I want, which is foreshadowing what I ended up doing. I get there, start talking to the same guy that I talked to the day before, and I'm like, listen, this is my budget, and if we can't get close to $27,000, then I'm not buying this car. That was my dog snoring. Rude. And he's like, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Like, we should be able to get it down to that price for you, considering I saw that online that it was $28,000, even though on the sticker it said $29,000. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe there's some wiggle room. Okay, so this guy and I start talking back and forth about like where I want the price of the car to be, what my budget is, and like blah blah blah. And he goes back to the sales manager and comes back to me with a piece of paper that basically says that the price that I saw online was incorrect. Somehow that has, you know, it's my fault. I'm like, that doesn't have anything to do with me. You have to honor that because that's the price that you have online. And they're like, well, then that's the lowest we can go. We absolutely cannot take any more money off of the car. And then they added on $1,000 in fees. And I was like, well, now we're back up to almost $30,000 again. So, you know, like, I feel like we didn't move at all. So then I'm going to leave. And of course, they don't want me to do that. So they ask if I'm willing to trade in my car. Like I said, I was driving a Mazda, high miles, but she was clean and she doesn't have any dents or scratches or anything. And I was like, sure, I would consider it if you gave me enough money for it. And so they, you know, got all the information about my car, and then they give me a little quote. And the night before, Jarrett's grandfather and I looked up how much my car was worth online, a couple different places. He owns a used car dealership, so like he knows how much used cars are worth and how much they'll bring, blah blah blah. So I know that my car is at least worth around $9,000, and I realize they can't give me $9,000 for it, but they offered me $3,800. Girl, I was so offended I almost walked out right then and there. So then the sales manager comes out and is like trying to mansplain to me why they're only offering me $3,800 for my car, and showing me where he's getting all the numbers from, telling me they're gonna have to reupholster the seats, they're gonna have to recondition the steering wheel, blah blah blah, it's gonna be so expensive, and so that they really can only offer me maybe $4,000 is the highest they can do. And I'm like, yeah, that's just not gonna cut it, because I know how much my car's worth. I know what Kelly Blue Book says, I know what Mannheim says, so I know how much my car's worth, and that's just not gonna do it. So then the sales manager leaves. He says the most he can offer me is $5,000 for my car. I'm like, you know what? Let me think on that, because that was honestly like the low end of what I was gonna take for my car. But I was like, you know what? If y'all can't take off any of these fees, like all this $1,000 worth of fees that you've added onto the price of the car, then I'm gonna have to go. And they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can really do about it. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, it looks like we're not gonna be able to make a deal then. Sales manager comes out a second time to kind of shake my hand and tell me thank you for coming, blah blah blah. I'm like, sure, like, you're welcome, because, you know, I'm kind of pissed that we didn't come to a deal and I didn't get the car that I wanted, but also I'm not gonna let you run all over me and like take advantage of me just because I want the car. And as I'm about to leave and he's like telling me thank you for coming or whatever, he literally looks at me and goes, just out of curiosity though, if you saw that the car was posted for $29,000, why did you think you could get it for $27,000? I walked out. That was so incredibly rude. Like, do you not understand how car buying works? Don't try to make me feel guilty for coming in and haggling on the price or like trying to talk you down a little bit. Like, that's what every single person does when they come in to buy a car. I know that that's not like that I'm doing something wrong, or like, I don't know, just it was gross. And I was like, I'm absolutely leaving. And I almost cried as I was driving away because I was so pissed off. And just for fun, I rode down, like I went down the road to another dealership that just happened to be their sister dealership, to look at, and it was a Ford store, to look at what Broncos they had on the lot, because I was like, you know, I really like the Bronco, so I'd be willing to consider, you know, a different one maybe. And a guy there that ended up selling me my car like had me test drive a different Bronco and look at some other cars that I just wasn't sold on. And so I told him I would come back, but I just wasn't really sold. But you know what? He offered me $7,000 for my car. I was like, I want to take this piece of paper to the other dealership so badly and just shove it in their face and be like, you literally don't know what you're talking about. Like, obviously, my car is worth more than $3,800. But I didn't. I kept it classy. And so one of my dad's friends actually works at that Ford dealership that I went to. He's over the service department. So if you need anything serviced in Aiken, South Carolina, please go see Stokes Hodges and go see my friend John. And basically, he was like, I don't understand, like, what happened. So he texted me and asked me what was going on. So I told my dad to call him because I was driving. I was like, call him and explain to him what happened, and, you know, ask him if there's anything that we can do, because I really want to get that black Bronco. And Dad calls him, explains what's happening, and John's like, under normal circumstances, I could get you that car. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but we should be able to get you the car from the Kia dealership to the Ford dealership, and you can just buy it there. And I was like, that would be amazing. He's like, well, I'll let you know something Monday. Like, let me talk to them and see what we can do, and I'll let you know something Monday. And that was on Friday. So I'm doing a wedding on Saturday, and I get a text from John that says, David can get you the car from the Kia dealership to the Ford dealership right now if you want to go pick it up. I was like, I'm about to be done at this wedding, and I'm going to go get my car right now. So I get to the Ford store, I shake hands with my dealer or salesperson, David, and I was like, I'm just wondering if there's any way possible that we can get the Bronco from the other dealership and bring it here, because like I told you, they're sister dealerships, so they're like able to move cars around or whatever. And he's like, it's already on the way. Girl, about started crying right then and there. I was like, thank God. And guess what? I bought it for $24,000, and nothing has ever made me more proud in my entire life. And I love Betsy the Bronco. That's her name. We named her. And yeah, she's a queen, and I love her, and I'm so stinking happy, and everything worked out the way that I wanted it to. And I truly did manifest that. Putting this stuff in my Amazon cart really helped. This just goes to show that even though you're a girl, you can do whatever you want. And if you manifest and you speak things into existence for yourself, they will happen. And so I'm a prime example. I have my Bronco, and I'm a happy gal. Anyway, that's today's glam. I hope you enjoyed the story. That's how I ended up getting the car of my dreams. And yeah, I love you guys very much, and I will see you again very soon. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!